everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Freedom League Dark and the Multiverse of the Master Mage. Bring me to life. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of superhero shenanigans. My name is Alex, and I will be your humble game master this evening. Tonight we are playing Green Running Publishing's Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG, which is produced by Green Running Publishing. It is a D20 system that generates exciting superhero narrative action using a central mechanic of a D20 plus a modifier versus a difficulty check. It's super simple and allows a ton of flexibility for gamers looking to tell stories ripped right out of their favorite comics and movies. There's also a wide open character creation system to bring your ideal superhero to life. And there is my favorite game mechanic ever in this game. Mutants and Masterminds gives players hero points to supercharge their actions in game. These points can be used to reroll dice, edit a scene, and even to modify or improve a character's powers for that extra oomph to get out of a sticky situation. Hero points are earned by leaning into genre tropes, acting heroically, good role-playing, jokes I think are funny, jokes I think aren't funny, and suffering setbacks just like superheroes in other media. However, here at the Untold Stories Project, we have another way for our Pucky heroes to earn those points, and that is from you, the audience. Anyone who follows, subscribes, or renews a subscription or donates bits to the stream is given a hero point that you may give to the hero or game master of your choice. We've gathered some mystical heroes tonight. Say cheerio, heroes.
Cheerio,
Cheerio,
heroes.
Calling in live from the Moonighted Kingdom. I want to give everyone a chance to tell us a little bit about themselves, the character they will be playing, and have them answer my question of the day, which is, what is your character's biggest regret? Starting with Deuce. I'm going to go move the people around.
Howdy, everybody. My name's Deuce. My voice will change when I'm in the right spot. I'm the Deuce. I'm making sure our Kevin per capita rating is still up to par for the USP. Playing Gator Man, which if you don't know what a Gator Man is, I'm sorry, it's a man gator. And for the question of the day, I would like to go with my usual funny retort, but it's got to be the fact his real regret is the fact he couldn't protect his mother during the Silver Storm, and that does legitimately bother him. So terrible. And with that downer, we'll pass it over to Resonant.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andy. I'm here for our superhero shenanigans now on Wednesday evenings. You can also find me over on our webpage where I write blog posts on occasion, and over on the StoryForge, which is over on our YouTube channel where I host it and provide context for different game systems, character creation, GM tips, tricks, that kind of stuff. Tonight I am playing Resonant, our resident gem mage, and it's relatively easy for her as well. She regrets being so far removed from her friend's life for 10 years before the events of Nether War brought them all back together. With that, I will pass it over to Calvin.
Okay, well, I'm Calvin, and I'm playing Fletch Beaumont III, aka Bowman, the agile archer with the awesome array of arrows. His biggest regret, I I was trying to pick just one because I was bouncing between like everything to do with Sophie and then how he treated the rest of the Freedom League Dark, like when he first met them. And then that time he totally wasted that one chance he had to ask like the mystery book of the universe one question and get an answer. He was pretty bad about that one. I don't know. I think he it depends on the time of day that you ask him what his biggest regret is, because he kind of bounces between at least a couple.
What about that time he let his sidekick get his arm eaten off by a T-Rex?
That's not his thing. That's a different timeline in universe. He doesn't regret that yet.
Silver medal regret.
Josie said regret arrow.
He regrets it for the other Bowman who can no longer regret it because he is no longer with us.
Yeah.
That's future Bowman's regret.
When we get to that Earth, it'll be on the list. But yeah, various, I guess, is my answer. And with that, I'll pass it to Jonesy.
Hi, everybody. I am Jonesy, and I am playing Mortis, our living dead guy, stuck between the worlds of the living and the dead, thanks to the powers of the Soul Vault. Speaking of the powers of the Soul Vault, regret is what powers the Soul Vault. That and trauma. So, As far as Mortis's regrets, he's got so many, and some that haven't even come up in stream yet. And but his biggest regret is that he was not able to keep Nick from dying, so that he wasn't able to save Nick's life before he passed. Which is kind of weird, but yeah, that's a regret of his. I say that's kind of weird because for those who may not have tuned in for the first time, Nick is Mortis's fiance who's still around, even though he's dead. He's a ghost now, so there's that. So with that, I'll hand it over to Kat.
Hey guys, I'm Kat. I'm playing Centuria, our super strong trauma girl. I forget everything else I'm supposed to say, like I usually do, so I'm gonna just jump into the question of the day. Centuria's biggest regret is not being able to save Dave, along with literally the rest of her friends, the first time that she went through Nether War. It also got probably about 10 times worse once they actually won Nether War this last time, because it made her realize that there were steps that could have been taken to save all of those people she loved. So yeah. And I will pass it to Alex.
I'm Alex. I'm the GM. I regret nothing.
Boo.
Boo.
We'll
What's
fix
Arctic
that.
Fox's biggest regret?
The Arctic Fox's biggest regret is that he
Lotus
was
got a
not
Wii.
close with his son while his son was young, and now he has to fight to have a relationship with his granddaughter now that he's a little older and a little wiser.
Fair.
And not being from America, that's probably a big regret for him too. Because then he wouldn't have had to have been a Soviet super soldier. He could have just been a regular super soldier that everybody loves.
I mean,
Ew.
Nobody loves Captain Communism. It's bad. Bad branding. I love Comrade Communism, but that's just me. Alright, so without further ado, I think we are good to go ahead and get started. Last time on Freedom League Dark in the Multiverse of the Master Mage, I'm getting so much better at saying that quickly. It's word salad. But our heroes, what did you guys get up to? Started off separate, all over Anti-Earth Prime, with Sophie and Bowman off over at Evermore, which is the opposite of the Netherworld that Una is usually in control of, where everything was adorable and musical and gummy and marshmallowy and cloudy, and just it was too much for poor Bowman, who got to go through a very in-depth therapy session with a door. Which sounds like I was on drugs while we were doing that.
You're the Looking Glass, Alice. I mean, Alex.
It's like
Alice.
sometimes. That's me.
The door got him through the threshold. It's okay.
It's true.
Mhm.
And Sophie and Bowman had a tense moment where Sophie mentioned that she knew how to take off his clothes, and they were like, no, maybe we shouldn't do that. Mortis and Nick traveled through the crossroads and found out that the underworld has changed significantly under the rule of Evil Deathgate. And the main group traveled via jet across Earth Prime, trying to stay one step ahead of Praetrix's forces while trying to find information about a ritual that might allow the Soul Vault to be separated from Deathgate without consequence. There were also several tense conversations, one between Resonant and Centuria, one between the Arctic Fox and Resonant, where Arctic Fox interrogated Resonant's leadership abilities for not having plans to kill all of her teammates if she needed to. And they all arrived together at the Arctic Fox's secret headquarters in Vietnam. Once on the ground there, they all sort of reunited, and they looked around the nearby jungles trying to find a magical energy source that could power the ritual to create this Soul Vault remover. Soul Vault Claw, whatever device we're going to use to get Deathgate's magical powers stripped away from him so he stops being a threat to our heroes. they headed off to a Vietnamese temple where a massacre had taken place during the Vietnam War, and they were able to find a vase that seemed to be a storage device of great suffering. A lot of mystical energy was poured into it at the moment of the massacre, and our heroes now have this vessel of power that they are going to attempt to fill and use as the focus of a ritual to remove the soul vault from Deathgate, which is where we rejoin our heroes. In the lush jungles of Vietnam, having brought the Arctic Fox's headquarters back online. It's sort of nestled away in another small temple structure, I believe 15 miles away from the where you got the vase. There is still the Fox plane in a under cliff hangar. That's the word for airplane garage. Hangar. And he is sort of he and the rest of the resistance have gotten everything up and running. They've turned the power back on. They've organized bunks, and they've given you guys a place to stay here as you settle down for the evening after retrieving this vessel and surviving the attack at the missile silo earlier this morning. And I will turn it over to y'all as one of the Gatormen is preparing dinner again.
I'm not telling you which one. You figure that out yourself.
Oh boy.
Doesn't matter which one it is. Resident is staying far, far away from the kitchen.
Miss Violent, you're right. Evermore is the Lisa Frank universe. Or, sorry, Jonesy, you're right. Evermore is Lisa Frank the universe.
So many gel pens.
Resident is gonna follow after Mortis and kind of stop him in the hallway. Are you sure you want to put this thing together? I know the other you is causing a lot of problems for this world, but you know the risks inherent in making this thing, right?
That it can and eventually make its way across the multiverse and come back to bite me in the ass.
Not even the eventuality of that, just the potentiality of it happening here and now. I'm more worried about that. I already lost one, but you know, with Dave not coming back, I don't want to lose another friend. I know he's not. I know he's not gone, but he's not here. I'm just making sure you've thought this through. I know I'm probably being paranoid. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't.
No, I get it, but my concern is that even if we don't stop him now, he's already bleeding. His effects on the crossroads are already bleeding into this one. It's going to only be a matter of time before it bleeds into other universes as well, because the crossroads connect them all.
Okay. I trust you on this. And we'll do everything we can to make sure that it only plays on your evil alternate here. Just promise me you'll be careful and don't take too many risks if we come across him.
Do what I need to do, but yeah.
Okay.
If I don't, someone's going to haunt me forever. So, I mean, I have a wedding to get to.
It's true. We got to make sure you get back there. I'm pretty sure Cersei will do unspeakable things to us if we don't get you back for your bachelor party.
So as you guys are sort of chatting, not General Acosta will come up to the two of you. Anti-Acosta is what his token says. And he'll say, Vasily has cleared out this shed for us to use as our ritual space. He
Okay.
would prefer that we practice this dangerous magic as far away from the compound as reasonably possible.
Do we have anything that we can use to shield it outside of us using our own magic to shield it from any other detection?
Well, the surrounding area is warded against most conventional perceptive measures. We won't show up on radar. We won't show up on satellite. I believe it is mystically warded as well. Sophie would know more about that than me.
We'll have to talk with her before we get started then, at the very least. I'd like to, if possible, up our protection levels. I don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves while we're working on this.
Yeah, we definitely don't want Deathgate to find out that they were trying to rob him of all of his power. That's kind of his whole thing. But that could be tomorrow's worry. It's been a long day. Vasily's got you and your league over here in the East Wing.
Okay. Thank you.
And he'll sort of nod and go on his merry way. What is everybody else doing?
Gatorman is stalking the perimeter. Just get to know where we're at in case terrible bad things happen, not like they ever would.
So it is the other Gatorman that's cooking.
I didn't say which Gatorman was stalking me.
Y'all are
But
going to
you
leave
might
this
be
earth with the
right.
wrong Gator Man.
It's very much a concern. Yeah, I guess Bowman's just taking stock of like what resources they have available to build the device here, as well as just checking like security points. Like, if he was gonna break in here, how would he do it?
Bowman is sort of the expert at breaking into Asian temples to fight ninjas.
Even if Centuria is the one that does finish them off.
Well, you know. That's
This is
only
how I
in the
spend my
team
weekends.
This is how I spend my weekends.
Bowman number 5, where every issue Bowman just gets beaten up and has bloody teeth every single episode.
I'd actually read that. That sounds pretty cool.
The Charlie Cox version of Bowman. Never fight this Bowman in a hallway.
Yeah, you're just an easier target. But yeah, he's just doing what he can to make sure this place is secure as he can help make it, or just make sure that Arctic Fox's setup is secure. I imagine it mostly is, since it's largely warded from like conventional means. He can't really offer much in the way of magical warding.
What kind of expertise check do you want to make for me?
I guess perception to look in. Well, perception or investigation, either one.
I would say investigation more than perception.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought I opened my sheet, but I must have closed when I refreshed.
And Gator Man, give me a perception check as you're sniffing around.
Oh, I can fail that. Hold on.
Bowman!
Whoa.
Yeesh.
In the
Yeah.
interest of saving my hero point for something more important, and I had rolled a 1 there for the audience at home. He is still thinking about spending time with Sophie in Evermore. Like the very complete opposite of the time he tries to spend with Seven in the Netherworld. And he doesn't like that his brain is making those connections.
And Gator Man with a 22. Both of you think that you have done at least as good a job as Vasily can at maintaining the perimeter. As a matter of fact, let's see how distracted you are. Come here, Anti-Fox.
Lizard fox.
Gonna be one of those nights.
Yep. Bowman, as you're sort of slinking around doing your thing, you do hear Vasily's voice in the bushes nearby. I promise you, I've done everything I can to keep this place safe from people like. And he sort of gestures back towards camp.
Ninja attack! Oh,
Doesn't hurt to double check.
No, but you know how the powered types are.
I'm just trying to live my life. Leave me alone.
They can be unpredictable as enemies, but they can also be great friends.
Well, they're very predictable as enemies. If you have super strength, why worry about being sneaky? Again, dirty pointed look towards Century.
Well, I said unpredictable, not unnoticeable.
I spoke with your leader on the plane ride over here, and I have something I need to discuss with you.
How would you kill Century?
That is the question.
Oh no.
Damn it.
Your
I have a
resonant-
Centuria arrow.
I have a Centuria arrow.
that's a quick answer. Okay.
He will say that your leader doesn't seem to believe that any of you are wicked of heart enough to turn on the others, but and it's not even about wickedness. What if one of them was mind controlled or were stricken with grief? How would you stop them?
Cheesecake.
Therapy.
All of those are not Arctic Fox techniques.
Not all of us go full Bruce Wayne. I'm just saying.
Oh, dessert. I should have tried dessert when you took over world. Duh.
Here, have Snickers. You're just hungry.
I have to wonder why you're really asking this. Are you looking for a weakness to fight your own Praetrix? Or is there something else here?
Being able to kill the Praetrix would do us a lot of good. It is something we're going to have to consider after we're done with Deathgate. And the Orb Centuria is not too much different from Praetrix.
There's plenty of differences. Some of them you might not have seen yet.
She's moved.
At any rate, I can trust her not to turn on us.
What if one of you dies?
Our Centuria has been through more than any of us even know, and I don't think that one more death is going to be the thing that turns her against the planet.
You think she could suffer that loss twice and be okay? Okay.
Well, there's a difference between okay and a conqueror, but
I had higher expectations of you, Fletcher.
look, Vasily, I don't know what you've been through on this world, what your history might be, but when it comes down to it, the plan to deal with anybody who turns on the Freedom League is, well, the Freedom League. I don't carry around anti-Centuria arrows with me. If there is a problem, I don't... Look, just don't tell President I said this, but I don't always have to deal with it alone.
Oh. Apparently you're from Earth Soft, not Earth Prime. I got it.
Well, it was pretty hard getting there.
Well, if she goes cuckoo, I guess we just deal with it.
Well, yeah, The we part. That's what you're missing.
And when Praetrix comes and she kills us all, we hope Centuria is strong enough to kill her back.
I'm pretty sure she is.
Well, come on. Let's get back inside before the mosquitoes come out.
We've come so far since Bowman yelled at Centuria last season.
Yeah. I mean, not to your face, but yeah.
Not I'll still yell at you to your face.
Gotta keep up appearances.
Nicely done, Bowman. I'm going to give you a hero point. Because trauma is the friends we made along the way. Perfect. Centuria, what are you up to?
So it's actually really funny that conversation just happened because when I was going to explain what I was going to do, I was going to say, well, Centuria's a little lost because she's not the best in a stealth setting. And then literally you said those words. I think she would probably be, if they told her which shed was being like given to them to use, she would be making sure that anything useless from that shed was being cleared out and just trying to clear a space so that they can do what they need to do without any distractions or anything that needs to be removed or moved in or anything like that.
Perfect. So yeah, over here, this shed does have, there's a little bit of stuff in storage. Looks like there's some crates of very old ammunition. There's a couple of boxes of glycerin, some explosives, different things that you're able to clear out easily enough. Because
How many crates, Alex?
It's a variable amount of crates. Right now, there are 5 crates.
Crates to the X.
Crates to the X.
So a linear amount of crates.
I don't know math, Auntie. But Centuria, while you're doing that, Sophie is going to come over and.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Can
keep
she
an eye on
not?
what you're doing.
No, you must deal with, NPC banter.
Centuria won't glare at her, but she will keep sort of casting glances in her direction, like, why the shit are you in here?
She's sort of leaning against the wall, watching what you're doing.
Could at least help.
I could.
Worthless.
I'm waiting for you to clear the space out so I can get the arcane ritual ready. No, that's not true. I'm just. I was hoping we could talk. Or more than just you glaring at me every time you see my face.
Resonance already told me to stop doing that.
Well, yeah, but you sort of have resting, judgy face.
Well, that's not really something I can help. What do you want to talk about?
You know, I'm not the one that did whatever happened to you and Fletch.
Well, tell your little fox character that I'm not the Centuria that lost her shit and killed a bunch of people, and then we can come to an understanding.
Oh, that's right. Centuria's got, like, super hearing.
I heard all these conversations. Bowman can't hide nothing from me.
Oh no!
I think you hear
I
like
just
1,000
won't bring it
times
to
more.
his face.
She's like,
And now we
Vasili's
know-
paranoid.
Because remember on the plane, I heard that shit too.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
it's what it is.
Like, Vasili's paranoid, but he's kept us alive out in a lot of dangerous situations. I want to know what happened with me and, well, not me, but me in your universe.
Bowman, our Bowman, is not one to open himself to many people. He has been hurt more than once. He is a very stoic, secluded person. Much as he won't admit that. You got somehow you whittled your way through his armor. He started to open up to you. Even brought you to some events. You guys were working on a big, huge project for Freedom City where you were bringing attention to those that needed it. And then all of a sudden, you were evil and betraying us. So sorry if your face doesn't elicit a smile from mine.
No, that's fair. I mean, your face took over the world and killed most of the people I care about.
Get it? And we don't have to be friends. We will be gone after all of this anyway.
I don't think we had to be enemies. You're not her. As worried as some people are that you might be, you're not. I can tell.
I suppose that you aren't her. But just do me a favor and leave him alone. Doesn't need it.
She seems to take this under serious consideration.
As much as you guys may be drawn to each other, I'm sure that you don't need it either. Because remember, we're just going to leave.
But you could stay.
No, no.
This is a world that needs heroes. It's literally the worst world I can imagine.
Has heroes. Has you.
We're not like you guys.
Well, what happens to our world if we leave it?
Aren't there heroes there? Like you? More of you?
Oh, I almost did an Ursa response instead of a Centuria response. I almost said something about Daedalus, but Centuria likes Daedalus. There are, but we also have people waiting for us there. Derek is engaged. I have something.
Something.
It's a really, really long story, like almost like a year's worth of a story.
It's on YouTube. Go watch it.
Go watch Nether War.
Also, hi, Wonder Boy. This is a Mutants and Masterminds game. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. Hope you're having a good night. She'll say, I understand that there are people that you care about, but there are a lot of people suffering here, and I think that you could be one of the people who could make it a lot better.
Well, think about this. There are probably people in your universe, in this world, on this earth, that have extraordinary abilities. But if you don't want to be evil here, it's either you're evil or you're doing this resistance thing where your life is pretty much forfeit. No offense to you. So maybe once we figure out something for this Praetrix person, maybe you'll get a little bit more heroes coming up to be trained to make it a better place, you know? You don't have to just be the 5 of you or whatever. You can change it.
You're right. And she will raise her hand and magically move a couple of the crates out of the room.
You could have done that the entire time. And you were just sitting there watching me walk back and forth.
You could have flown them out. You didn't have to walk back and forth the whole time.
Centuria will actually let out a small laugh. Whatever, girl.
And Sophie will smile in kind before the group reconvenes for dinner. Gatorman, which one? What did you make for dinner?
What could he find in the swamp in Vietnam? What could he bring with him?
Look, I did my
Alligator.
research about folk religion in Vietnam. I didn't read anything about the animals that live there.
We're just gonna go good old fish fry. That seems appropriate. Whatever fish they manage to find up around here, nice, well seasoned, well cooked, and far too much hot sauce on the side for the people who will eat it, and Resonant who will look at it and go, no, not again.
Awesome. And they
But-
dinner is served in the central hall of this sort of an ornate temple structure. You do see the eastern wing has been cleared of everything except for 6 cots for you guys, or five cots for you guys. 5 cots for you guys. The western half appears to have been divided between the other heroes, as well as there is a small generator that's hooked up that seems to be powering the entire facility. And in this middle structure, there is the improvised kitchen with the burner in the middle. There is a small computer station that looks like it might be from the 80s or the 90s up against the back wall that has a glowing blue screen that's ticking through a couple of different things. Vasily is monitoring that while you guys are eating.
Bowman's just gonna peek over his shoulder at that screen.
Bowman, you see that there are several notifications popping up that seem to be from different areas around the world. Looking on the map, on the globe that's sort of presented on the computer screen, it looks like there might be something in the northwestern United States, something in the northeastern United States, something in Saudi Arabia, something from Australia, and something from Kaiju Island.
Huh. Do we have a kaiju island on our Earth?
You do have a Kaiju Island on your Earth.
Okay, just double checking. Like, that we know of.
Yes. You.
Okay.
The Freedom League would know about Kaiju Island. Aegis has a number of monitoring facilities on Kaiju Island just to make sure the kaiju stay on Kaiju Island, but sometimes the kaiju like to wander off.
Presumably there are giant robots to put them back.
No, just little guys with bows and arrows.
Ugh. Yeah, so I guess while eating, Bowman's just going to ask, like, what are all these?
These are calls for help from people around our Earth. And Vasily will sort of... Sorry, I'm Russian, I forgot. He'll point at the screen. And he'll say, here is Emerald City. It looks like there is a situation developing at Mars Park. A freak snowstorm. We have reports of an Eldritch portal opening in top of Mystery Mountain here in Mystery, New Hampshire. There's an earthquake in Saudi Arabia. Looks like Spear is panicking about an exodus of kaiju from Kaiju Island. And this is concerning, but the Astro Labs had a Genesis portal device stolen in Sydney, Australia. A portal that will take you to Genesis, not the device that creates portals. You know what I mean.
It specifically goes to Genesis?
That's what the scientists think. They haven't turned it on yet.
That is very concerning if Genesis is the opposite of our terminus.
Well, you have terminus
they-
where you come from.
Were there any witnesses to the crime?
He'll sort of cycle through the computer files. He'll say, "It look like I have looks like there are security feeds from Night of Robbery. This guy. Wow, look at this fella. I don't know him, but he looks like he is Amethyst Batman.
Huh.
I'm gonna share a picture real quick. He's wearing a gray and light purple costume that has a hood on it, as well as sort of that classic Paul Dini white bat lens that is so popular with the bow squint. Has a very large utility belt on. Sort of a square jaw, blandly handsome white man. Vasily will say that this is he's a villain we know as Night Haunt.
Does that sound like the opposite of anyone we know?
You know about an actually give me an expertise superheroes check.
Well, it's not very high. Oh, 26.
Yeah, Bowman, you've heard of this guy before. He especially runs in your circles, being the sort of powerless vigilante type. Night Haunt is an Australian superhero. You know
Just
his
called
name
Bowman
is-
powerless. How's he supposed to take that?
I mean, it's not incorrect.
It's true, but still, you never
Well,
said
super
that to their face.
powerless.
Yeah, his power is, the friends he's made along the way.
He just admitted that.
I know.
But Night Haunt, his civilian name is Owen Lowe. He was a part of a special task force investigating Shadow with the Sydney Police Force, who discovered that some of his fellow officers were dispensing vigilante justice, killing criminals, and altering evidence to cover their involvement. Owen informed his colleagues that he was reporting their actions, and that night, his fellow police officers killed his wife's son and shot him in the head. He was found with the murder weapon in his hand and the sound of police sirens approaching, and he decided to vow vengeance on all corrupt police officers. So he uses traditionally a belt created by Shadow that allows him to fly and become invisible, and he has a pair of utility gauntlets that do something or another. That's the Night Haunt.
Why would he want such a device?
That's what I was wondering about. He's probably getting some sort of weapon or something from Genesis.
I don't
You
know
have a
why you would
problem-
want to go to Genesis. I've not been myself. I hear it's a nice place though.
Genesis should be good here.
You mean you guys have place that is bad place that we have good place of? Huh.
Yeah.
You hear that, team? Score 1 for Earth Prime. Anti-Earth Prime.
Well, considering Earth Prime has me, I'm gonna say that's score 2 for Earth Prime. So you have Praetrix.
Look, okay, we got one win, alright? It's 99-1, okay? You win.
More importantly, if the Terminus if your Genesis is as powerful as our Terminus, while these other issues seem more immediate, I think this is going to be the bigger problem.
Well, that's where the book is anyway. That's where Adrian went when he came here. So, unless this Night Haunt is just trying to go there for some advanced technology, he could be on Praetrix's payroll. He could be chasing down the same lead we're chasing down.
You could be working for Eldritch too.
I would have thought Eldritch would have left him some ability to do his own transportation there versus needing a device, but maybe.
Sophie, what do you know about Eldridge giving out handouts? Does that ever happen in your experience? No, he sort of made me work for everything I have.
Either way, it's a door. We don't have to worry about it once we get it. Sounds like a win to me.
Yeah, I just want to make sure he's not. I want to make sure he's leaving empty-handed.
I'm happy to head to Genesis. I wanted to do that anyway.
Wait, do you want to go just to Genesis like yourself? You just want to fly up there and go do your thing?
I'm happy to go by myself, but if anyone else wants to come. Trip.
Mortis and I have to get started on that device, lest we not be able to stop Deathgate. I don't think we can go with you for that. I mean, the three of you could go stop this Night Haunt if you want. You just have to promise me that you're going to come back.
As long as the door opens both ways.
That's assuming he's turned it on and already headed there. If he just stole the doorway, he needs some sort of power source to get it up and running, I would think.
Duh, it wouldn't work without some kind of massive fusion power generator, I would think.
Can you look for one from here?
On that thing?
I have Windows 95, my friend.
Is that as far as they got here?
No, they go else. Like we have 93 and 94 and 96 and 2001.
I was like, he forgot to count. He doesn't know how.
Oh no, did they stop at Vista?
I was translating numbers in my head.
Bowman, I think he's more worried about the hackability of a later system.
Yeah, everything is up in network, and everything that is on network winds up in Deathbolt's purview, or Madam Sin's purview.
Jason's.
Or Jason's purview. Yeah, you trained that sidekick a little too well.
The computer stuff was all him.
You don't know how to kill your friends, you don't train your own sidekick. What is this? Where are you from?
I kept that kid fed. Anyway, maybe we can investigate the lab itself. They might have a way to... I mean, if we try to track the device from there, at least we'll know they're coming and they won't know where our base is.
I think it's a good plan.
I would say securing that would give us a way to get to Genesis as well that wouldn't be reliant on Centuria being pulled there and pulling the rest of us along. I think it's worth looking into.
Let's go steal a door.
Tomorrow or
Back.
tonight.
I think tomorrow. I think we sleep first, then we go.
What about the other multiple crises going on? Could your team deal with those for now?
I'll send a few people to go look at other things. How many of my magical teammates are you looking to have help you with your ritual?
Well, I was hoping to at least borrow Sophie for some time to work on the device.
Vasily arcs an eyebrow.
Centuria also arcs an eyebrow.
And then they look at each other.
Mortis looks over at Nick and doesn't say anything, but looks over at Nick.
Nick looks back and he's like, I would prefer to stay here and help with the soul vault, since that would mean we'd have 2 test vaults to work with.
That makes the most sense. I'd like to talk to Sophie about whatever mystical wardings she's got up over the area to see if we can't try to shield the massive amount of arcane energy we'll be producing in the next however long as we work on this ritual. But we're going to need somebody to stay behind in case something gets here too and gets through the shielding or the defenses. Can we... Gatorman, are you willing to stick around?
Up for whatever.
You want both Gatormen? We've got 2 Gatormen.
She looks between the two of them. The one we brought with us, preferably.
Gatorman look at each other. See you. Yeah. Alex
Which
Mc-
one is that?
Should they rock, paper, scissors for it?
They're
Yeah, I
even
got your
wearing
back, isn't
identical
it?
clothes.
So yeah, I think you can. Once Sophie and I talk about the wards, I think she can go out to do something about these issues that you've got coming in.
Duh, we're going to have to prioritize, though.
And the gate seems to be a major one. I don't think we can really let that fall into the Praetrix's hands.
I agree. She's been trying to get to Genesis ever since they branded her.
Centuria
Right.
sort of absentmindedly reaches up to her own neck.
They branded her?
They tried to come here and save the Earth from her, but she killed everyone who came through the portal.
But they managed to subdue her enough to get a brand on her?
Duh, that just pissed her off. Alpha himself came through, but before he could finish his final blow, she cracked his containment suit and he had to flee back into Genesis.
Okay.
Why did they brand her if they're the good guys?
They wanted to be
Doesn't
able
seem
to
like a
remove her
good guy
powers.
activity.
You realizing we're building a device to rip out a soul vault? Just saying. Good guy's relative.
Could the brand have actually done that if it succeeded?
Alpha seemed to think so, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it before he was forced to flee.
Don't know that it would have completely removed her powers from experience, but it probably would have had its advantages.
Yeah, he didn't want to kill her outright. He wanted to remove her as a threat and then try to rehabilitate her.
Do that. Well, I would like to go to Genesis as soon as possible. I'm happy to go alone or take anyone with me. And you guys can figure out whatever you need to figure out here.
I can go with you.
I would prefer you guys don't go alone.
I would
You of all
prefer if the
people know why.
anti-Praetrix weapon didn't leave the planet.
That's unfortunate for you.
If we don't stop this guy, he might bring something worse back.
I have said my piece on the matter. It is your choice, of course.
What are you going to be doing here?
I'm going to try and solve one of these other problems. Not Kaiju Island, though. The Kaiju Island is its own thing. I'm not going over there.
One of the Gatormen looks sad.
Just one?
The other one doesn't want any part of it.
We're definitely
Well,
not
then-
taking Gatorman to Kaiju Island because I know what'll happen if Gatorman goes to Kaiju Island.
Gatorman, king of all kaiju. Okay.
Ooh.
Guys, I got a horse.
Well, I'm going to get some rest. I suppose we'll do the final split up in the morning.
Duh.
Centuria will get up and walk away. So that Arctic Fox can talk some shit about her that she can still hear.
He's a lot of shit to say. He's said his piece. It's up to the others to do what they really want to with his complaints. Anything else for the evening before we get up at tomorrow and start doing the thing?
No, I think it's probably a good place to basically reset
And
everyone for the reset
So as it
everyone for the night.
as has become custom, Gator Man will bring Centuria her food later. Just put it on her bedside table and we'll leave it there for her and walk off.
he's like, you always storm off before you eat.
Every time. I don't know if it's his cooking. I don't know if he just don't like.
No, it's just the dramatics.
Gatorman's taking it personally. I'm here for it. And Andy, Sophie will let Resident know that she has warded this area against magical scrying and against other sorts of mystical senses to the best of her ability.
Okay.
And she has done her best to almost make this a magical dead zone so that when the great power that you're going to be bringing to bear comes up, it's not going to register on the magical Richter scale.
But this place still basically it's still gonna read as though there's always some sort of like ambient arcane energy, so it's gonna read like that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. President will check the wards in the morning just to make sure that everything's on the up and up, but she's very happy that those are already set up in place.
Perfect. So, the evening passes rather uneventfully, unless somebody else has something else that they want to do before we wake up. Sophie will respect Centuria's wishes and keep away from Bowman for the evening.
Yep, he is doing the same.
Ugh, this tension is too much. But morning dawns. There is a little bit of food in the morning, and you are free to begin your plan to split up. I'm just going to sort of organize you all into what I think the camps are. You wanted a Gator Man at the house, right?
Yep.
OG Gator Man.
Do you want Acosta to stay, or do you want him to go and help?
I think for the first day, because we don't know how long this is going to take, I think he could go and try to help deal with any of the outside problems. The more hands available in the area outside of this group, the better for dealing with the problems.
So Arctic Fox, General Acosta, and the other Gator Man are willing to be a group. Centuria and Bowman, did you want to go straight to Genesis, or did you want to head to check on the portal device?
I think our plan was to try to find the device so we have an alternate way to get there and back in case. Because, well, actually, I don't remember if we know about Genesis contacting Centuria, but we would need like another way to get there back just in case. And I think we were going to the lab to try to find a way to actually find where the door is.
Yeah, Centuria probably can't just hold you and fly you to Genesis as a regular human person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, is Sophie coming with us?
Sophie's intention is to come with you.
Fuck. This is gonna be so awkward.
It's gonna be like in The Boys when MM, Starlight, and Huey went on that road trip.
It's gonna be so awkward because they're gonna be pretending like they don't like each other. Like that's gonna make it worse
Yep.
than if they were just like, yeah, we do like each other. Ugh. Oh god. Ventura's about to go all prey tricks on them.
Oh no.
This
I
is
didn't
what
bring my
did it.
Centuria arrow.
This is what did it. This is what pushed her over the edge.
I told you so.
Didn't require somebody dying.
Should
Just
have
required her being slightly uncomfortable.
So the 3 NPCs are going to go to Emerald City to try and deal with the snowstorm because that is Arctic Fox's preference. And then I don't have to play Keone and Crucible, and life will be good.
Oh, dodge that bullet.
It would have been really fun to fight Evil Kiyomi, though.
Mm-mm. I fought the
It's
real
too
one,
much-
didn't like it.
Still might happen.
It is not as fun as you think.
She's so stabby. Gatorman, since your double is in that group, go ahead and roll a d20 for me plus 5.
Lucky 13.
Perfect. They do not come back the same day that they leave to go solve this problem.
The weather. Yep.
They are having some setbacks. But while they are off
Complications.
doing their thing in Emerald City, I will start the ritual over here with Mortis, Resonant, and Gatorman.
Okay.
So anybody who's contributing to the ritual, I need an expertise magic check or another skill check if you think it makes sense.
Well, you know what I'm doing. Expertise magic it is.
Oof.
On a 4, it's still a 27.
I knew it was so low. I was like, that should have been a 40.
Expertise magic.
Also, Wonder Boy, if you're still here, these are PL 13 characters with 275 power points.
God, I got garbage.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those nights.
Will you roll for the other Mortis too?
Not the rate I'm going. Rolled a 1.
You did.
Second roll was a total of 21.
Cool.
Cool.
Not cool.
And as per Resonance wishes, Gatorman has blended into the surroundings and is on guard duty.
Awesome. Well, Gatorman, you're not needed for guard duty today because that is a failure for our heroes.
No, I'm just that good.
Everybody, so the 2 Mortises and Resonant, as you spend the 8 hours working on the Soul Vault, trying to fuse it with the power source, there is an unfortunate feedback of necromantic energy that surges through all of you. I need all of you to make a toughness check for me.
28.
Would you like one from me as well?
You're not working on the ritual, so it doesn't surge into you.
Okay.
14.
Jonesy!
Got 2 hero points, Jonesy, if you want to deal with it.
You gotta roll for Mortis too.
Yeah, and roll for
I got it,
Mortis
I got-
also.
31.
Mortis 2 is okay. Resonant, you will take a bruise, which will carry into the challenge just as you're going along.
Even with regeneration being as long as it is.
Yeah, this necromantic energy is feeding on the very life essence of your body.
Okay.
And it is suppressing the regeneration magic.
Okay.
Yep, it doesn't heal It doesn't heal in one day, but it'll be okay. I promise. I hope. Mortis, you missed by 16. If you don't want to spend a hero point. Which just means that you'd be incapacitated for the next skill check. As you take a day to recover.
The rate my dice are going. No, I'm gonna take it.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me what the scene looks like as you guys deal with this horribleness.
Because even if I can't roll high enough not to take something. So
The bruise would be better than being incapacitated. And if you roll a 10, you'll be at a 32, which would get you to pass. So
It's my hero point.
24, which will just be a bruise. Dazes don't matter for this, but the bruise will continue. But what is this? What does this day of ritual look like for the three of you and Gatorman?
probably trying for Resonant, really actually find getting a really close look at the soul vaults for the first time, and trying to figure out all of the arcane energy that compromises it, and failing spectacularly.
Yeah, there is a sort of quiet moment where you're all sort of around the soul vault, trying to focus on the vessel and trying to find safe ways to isolate the energy from either Nick or Derek. And the soul vault does not like that. It reacts negatively and pulses through everybody in the chamber. And let me write down that it is one failure. Let me grab my other dice to simulate successes. Okay. Meanwhile, down at Astro Labs, Centuria, Sophie, and Bowman, Sophie will open a portal to take you to Sydney.
Okay.
Once again, passing through Evermore. With Centuria, you get your first taste of Evermore.
Centuria is shook.
Tastes like candy.
As sort of this great pulsing magical energy crosses over you, leaving sort of a warm, uncomfortable feeling on your skin. As several animated animals sing a song of your arrival and sing a song of your departure. Sophie, go ahead, Centuria.
Centuria just looks at Bowman and just gives him this look of like, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. They just had those songs ready to go.
What? Can they see the future?
Only for music, says Sophie.
What does that mean? Only for music.
Well, I'm trying to decide if they could see the future or if they have a weird localized reality control power where what they sing about happens.
They just decided that we were coming through here? Through Sugar Plum Valley?
I don't know. They're very confusing creatures. I choose to believe that they see the future and not that they can change reality, but it could be both.
Unsettling.
Yeah, they're very cute, but they're very concerning. We're here.
Yeah.
And she'll...
Oh, good.
And the portal will open up in the suburbs of Sydney. And she'll say, I didn't want to get too close or we would have shown up on somebody's radar.
So what's the plan here?
Okay. Well, I was hoping we could get to the Astrolabs computer system. I could do some investigating on any sort of radiation or signal this device might give off, and then we find a way to locate it.
We're going to need a way to get into the lab. They do work for the Praetrix. Sophie looks at Centuria.
Yeah.
They do
Do you
work
have-
for the Praetrix.
Do I have any way to dress like her?
Girl, I'm magic. And she sort of snaps her fingers.
Do I have to cut my hair? It's just growing back.
No, I can make it look like the right hair.
Oh, thank God.
And she puts Centuria in the red and black leather of Praetrix the Dominatrix.
Centuria's standing there just like,
Try to
Hey.
look more intimidating.
grr.
Arg.
Well, it just
Uh,
needs to be a distraction.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Sophie looks at Bowman and says, well, there is an evil Bowman who works for her, too. This could be a
Yeah, I'm
random
not-
connection.
I'm not much of an actor. I was just gonna sneak my way in.
Does this Bowman talk much?
Does your Bowman talk much?
No, it's like opposite land. Figured your Bowman's a chatterbox.
No, he's real quiet.
Okay.
Well,
What
he's
about
real
you?
quiet in public.
Stop. What about you?
I could turn invisible.
All right. What is this device called?
The Genesis portal?
That's it? Doesn't have like a cool name?
Look, your counterpart's not good at naming things.
All right. I'm ready when you guys are.
She has a
Let's do
Praetrix
it. She's like
plane.
stretching. She's what?
She has a Praetrix plane.
Why does she
She
need
called
a
her
plane?
plane?
She's got an airplane called the Praetrix plane. I don't know why she has an airplane.
Oh my gosh, she names stuff like you do, Bowman.
Sophia bursts out laughing.
Look, the names aren't important.
That's what his motorcycle's called.
Well, at least we know the B isn't for branding.
Mm. We should get moving.
Okay.
And Sophia will turn invisible, and she will fly along after you guys.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking Bowman would sneak in because he's got to do some computery hacking.
Mm.
Although he could just be like, "I'm here for the device. Tell me where it is." But I've apparently complicated everything, so
I just wanted to prove I could break in here.
come on, it's the weekend here. All right. So, yeah, I guess he's just waiting for that distraction.
Awesome. So the Astro Labs building in question is in downtown Sydney. Sophie will give you directions as you're heading your way. And it is, as far as evil mad scientist laboratories go, pretty nondescript. It almost looks like a conventional office building, very brutalist style, concrete, rectangular stories of glass windows. And there is the Astro Labs logo on the front of the building, which is just a rocket ship with Astro Labs written on the top and the bottom of it. A couple of guards posted out front notice Praetrix arriving. Their faces go stark white and they stand at attention.
They're the guards.
They are the guards.
A good lot that you do.
I wasn't here yesterday, Your Highness.
Well, maybe you should have been. Who gives you days off anyway?
Dr. Mitchell.
Where's Dr. Mitchell?
She's inside.
Show me.
Yes, right away. Bowman, are you there or are you sneaking in?
Oh, I'm looking for a vent. I'm sneaking in.
Sophie will invisibly come up behind you and whisper, there are vents on the ceiling if you want to go up there. On the roof if you want me to take you up there.
These are the appropriately sized for comic panels vents, not the appropriate sized for everyday living vents.
Right.
Exactly.
But for a moment, that warm, familiar breath on your neck just makes you wonder, Mm.
No.
I know. I'm like, Centuria's literally like risking her life in this building, and they're gonna go like screw around in a vent.
Mhm.
No, of course not.
Phrasing. Phrasing.
Sophie will say,
Yeah,
I
he'll-
can. Sophie will say, I can get you in invisibly if you want, but you'll have to get under my cloak.
We'll
Phrasing.
consider that if it comes up. I can get into places unnoticed if I need to.
It's the middle of the day, Fudge.
Exactly.
All right,
And then
I'll
he's
meet you
gonna.
up there.
Yeah, he'll grapple arrow up there.
Yes,
No,
don't
he'll
you?
get the ride up there if she offers.
Centuria
Thumbs
is
up.
rolling her eyes so hard because she can hear every second of this conversation.
I don't know how I keep forgetting that.
Like,
Nothing is private from Centurion.
flirty banter, flirty banter, flirty banter. Ah.
God,
She's
I
like,
hate
holy shit, is
superheroes.
this what me and Dave were like last season?
Yep.
Mhm.
I love that Centuria knows that it's a season. Like, I like to think that Centuria is from another dimension, that she's got a little bit of fourth wall awareness. I miss the other Kevin. Centuria.
Didn't know she
Time to
was
bring
a
you dinner
She-Hulk.
again.
But Centuria, as you are being led into the building, sure enough, you do see signs of a break-in. It looks like whoever came through here did disintegrate some of the glass with some kind of strange purplish powder. It looks like there are still some bloodstains that have yet to be cleaned up by the robotic cleaning staff of Astrolabs. And looking down into this main area, you can see that there is an elevator at the far back of this chamber that has been blown open and still appears to be taped off with caution tape. The guard will take you down into this sort of recessed area that looks like it's the main lobby of the building, and he'll take you over to a reception desk where there is a young woman working who looks up at you. Oh, Praetrix, your eminence. We did not think to be graced by your presence again so soon.
Well, unfortunately, when you lose my toys, I have to make a trip.
You were here this morning.
Yes, I was. And has any progress been made since then?
We have the robots working on identifying Nighthaunt's most known locations and associates.
You know how urgent this is to me.
Yes, your eminence, we are doing everything that we can to bring the device back to you.
Not doing enough. I expected more progress from by now.
We didn't expect Nighthaunt to turn against the regime.
Yes, indeed. What happened there?
I mean, I can speculate, but I'm just a receptionist. Let me call Dr. Mitchell and see if she has any theories.
Yes, do.
And she'll sort of quietly pick up the phone and say, Dr. Mitchell, Praetrix is here to see you. And with your super hearing, Centuria, you can hear a very quiet, again? She's here again? Hold her off. I'll be down in just a moment. And the receptionist will hang up the phone, look at you, and say, Dr. Mitchell will be with you momentarily.
Centuria will walk back towards where the glass was melted so she can sort of do a sly investigation. See if she can figure anything else out.
Give me an investigation check, Centuria.
While looking as angry as humanly possible. Oh my god. We guys, we can't just roll higher than a 10. We're just
Everybody's having a
That's
bad
a 16 total.
time. Looking through, it does look like whatever attacked this window did come from the outside. And you don't see... It looks like whatever broke the glass disintegrated it into this dust before the shards hit the ground. You don't see broken glass. You just see the inside, the sort of strange collection of dust across the ground. But beyond that, you're not seeing much.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Where
on
is the
roof,
computer that Bowman's trying to get to? Where is it?
It is not in this lobby area.
Okay.
Although,
Alright, I have a plan.
Centuria, you being in the lobby, you can see the directory that mentions the different floors. It looks like Director Mitchell's office is on the top floor near the penthouse, but there is also a computer lab on the 13th floor.
Okay. I have a plan.
I am excited to see what happens. Meanwhile, on the roof, Bowman and Sophie.
Yeah, pulling off a vent cover and then preparing to make my way inside.
She's like, there are a million easier ways to do this.
I've done this plenty of times before, but I'll take any suggestions.
I could turn you into a mouse and fly you down to wherever you want to go.
That seems more difficult than this.
Leaves less evidence. It can make you insubstantial. But we'd have to guess where you were going to come out before we hit the floor that you wanted to come out on, or you'd get stuck in the wall or in the floor.
How about you just make me insubstantial to get into the vent and then out of? Best of both worlds.
I mean, that's easy, I guess. We are going to do something about your body temperature before you go in there, though. There are temperature monitors in these vents.
Could I? Oh, this might require a power stunt to do, since my costume technically has temperature control, but only in forms of immunity to effects. I don't know if I could adjust the insulation to like hide my body heat.
Yeah, you could certainly power stunt for that. You can do that with extra effort, or you can do that with the hero point.
Oh yeah, extra effort. That would just make me
Fatigue.
slower for a bit.
Yep.
I can live with that. He said, having no idea.
I believe you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I got speed. Yeah, Bowman will. He will activate the. I guess this would have to be the extreme heat version of the suit, so it can mask like his own heat signatures.
Yes.
And then it'll he'll like tap his chest. The suit will recolor itself into like a red version of the Bowman suit.
How many different versions of your suit do you have in there?
As many as I need.
Oh, okay. And you made your heat resistant one red?
Well, it blends in better when I'm dealing with more volcanic areas.
Oh, you fight in a lot of volcanoes.
More than you'd expect, actually.
She just sort of looks at you. I was expecting 0, so any more than 0 is more than I expect.
You have to be prepared for anything.
Why don't you just do that thing that Batman does, like be shirtless on the edge of the volcano?
I don't know who that is.
Have you ever had a sword fight on the edge of a volcano? That would be hot.
Well, there was this one time I was fighting with a ninja, but I didn't have a sword.
Do you know how to use a sword? You should have a sword.
I know how to use a sword, but can't use a sword at long range.
I saw Gladiator. I believe that you could throw it at least a little bit.
Not as far as I can shoot an arrow. Unless I had some sort of sword arrow.
telling you, it would be dope.
Well, maybe when this is done, you can show me how fancy swords are here.
Deal. And the two of you will slip into the vent.
Yep, and Bowman would just walk right into that one.
Am I the only one who said there's not a mouse and a little Bowman cow going squeak squeak?
I
Oh,
mean,
mouse.
Not yet.
Perfect. So I know this is going to take a little more time, but we're going to slip back over to the ritual for the other 8 hours that they're working on it.
Okay.
If you could once again give me an expertise magic check, and if anybody wants to aid on the check, that could be a way to also help.
Just gonna bring them lunch. Something mild, so since they've been killing themselves for 8 hours.
I will give them a +2 circumstance bonus for Gator Man's lunch.
Aw.
Hot.
It's helping you feel a little more alive.
Some nice rice noodles, beef broth, some seasoning. The player may have been looking up Vietnamese cuisine while we were doing this. You know, stuff happens.
Did you make us a banh mi?
I made you pho. Banh mi's next.
They're having the best time at the compound.
Apparently.
Actually, Bowman's
Plus-
having the best time. +2 for the food bonus.
All right, here we go. Okay, there's your 40, Cat.
Yeah, I called it.
May it just be because of me. Jones is gonna murder a dice roller.
Oh, jeez. Yes, he is.
Roll 20 sucks.
I'm going to spend a hero point for my to give myself a reroll.
And you'll still get
Or-
the +2 bonus.
For 20. That's with the that's with the twist +2 bonus already.
Awesome.
That was a 9, so it's a 34.
34.
That's what's up. That's-
I don't know if Nick has any hero points to spend to get a reroll.
Nick does not have his own hero points to spend.
And I'm out of hero points, so
That is okay. That is more successes than failures as a group, so that is actually 3 degrees of success, thanks to a 40 and a 34 on the skill challenge. So the first 8 hours of work went a little rough, but the next 8 hours went much better. Well, how does that play out, guys?
Resonant and Mortis have a conversation about the magic inherent in the Soul Vault and Resonant tries to basically like pick his brain about how he feels when using his magic to get a better understanding of things, and then approaches the task with the Soul Vault from that point of view rather than her own.
I also kind of give him some details about an encounter I had with Hexenhammer, where he was able to muck with my connection to the vault.